When you're ready, we shall leave for Denerim. Excellent. I shall make the arrangements. Let us be off to Denerim, and may the Maker watch over us. Denerim is the heart and soul of Ferelden. It was the city of King Cullen Head, the birthplace of Andraste. As stubborn as a Mabari, and as good to have on your side. If we defeat Loghain here, the rest of the nation will follow us. By calling the Landsmeet, I've struck the first blow. The advantage, for the moment, is ours. He will have little choice but to show himself, to oppose us directly. He will strike back at us. The only question that remains is how soon. Loghain, this is an honor, that the Regent would find time to greet me personally.
How could I not welcome a man so important as to call every lord in Ferelden away from his estates, while a blight claws at our land?
The blight is why I'm here. With Cousland dead, Ferelden must have a king to lead it against the Darkspawn.
Ferelden has a strong leader. Its queen. And I lead her armies. And who is this, Eamon? Some new stray you picked up on the road? And here I thought it was only royal bastards you played the nursemaid to.
Well, you're admitting the royal part. That's a start.
You have my sympathies on what happened to your order. It is unfortunate that they chose to turn against Ferelden. You should curb your tongue. This is my city, and no safe place to speak treason. For anyone. There is talk that your illness left you feeble, Eamon. Some worry that you may no longer be fit to advise Ferelden.
Illness? Why not call your poison by its true name? Not everyone at the Landsmeet will cast aside their loyalties as easily as you and these sycophants.
How long you've been gone from court, Eamon? Don't you recognize Rendon Howe, Arl of Amaranthine and Terran of Highever?
And current Arl of Denerim, since Urien's unfortunate fate at Ostagar. The Regent has been generous to those who prove loyal.
Don't interrupt, Churl. Your betters are talking.
Enough, Carthrian. This is not the time or place. I had hoped to talk you down from this rash course, Eamon. Our people are frightened. Our king is dead. Our land is under siege. We must be united now if we are to endure this crisis. Your own sister, Queen Rowan, fought tirelessly to see Ferelden restored. Would you see her work destroyed? You divide our nation and weaken our efforts against the Blight, with your selfish ambitions to the throne. I should put my faith in untried foreign hands. Do you think I'm blind? Cousland depended on the Grey Wardens' prowess against the Darkspawn, and look how well that ended. Let us speak of reality rather than tall tales. Stories will not save us.
I cannot forgive what you've done, Loghain. Perhaps the Maker can, but not I. Our people deserve a king of the Theron bloodline. Alistair will be the one to lead us to victory in this blight.
Oh, is that all I have to do? No pressure.
The Emperor of Orlais also thought I could not bring him down. Expect no more mercy than I showed him. There is nothing I would not do for my homeland.
Well, that was bracing. I didn't expect Loghain to show himself quite so soon. My sister married King Merrick while he was still in exile. At that time, he and Loghain were inseparable. The wild prince who'd never seen the inside of a castle, and the farmer's son. When Loghain joined Merrick's rebels, he was just a raw-boned boy, but he got on one knee to swear that he would see Ferelden free or die trying. Yes. Merrick's mother was the rebel queen. The one who kept the heart of Ferelden beating when so much of it seemed dead. It was a tragedy she never lived to see her son take her throne. We need eyes and ears in the city. Loghain has been here for months. The roots of all his schemes must begin here. The sooner we find them, the better we can turn them to our advantage. Go have a look around, and see what you can turn up. Better yet, find the nobles who have arrived for the Landsmeet. Test the waters. See how many will support us. When you're ready to talk strategy, come upstairs to my sitting room. We can lay out our plans for the Landsmeet then.
If one more servant asks if I would like a change of clothes, I will set the house on fire. What comes, my friend?
This is not as defensible as I would like, but it will do. What is your wish, Kadan? As you wish.
Everything in here appears to be breakable. It seems most impractical.
This is a nice estate, isn't it? What's on your mind? It is no trouble.
This is a nice change from having to sleep in the woods, isn't it? I know that look. You have something on your mind, don't you?
You know, I could get to like this. The last time I came to Denerim, I stayed at an inn so filthy the bedbugs had fleas. What say you?
Right here, old pal. Aye, all right then.
Ah, Warden. I trust you've made yourself comfortable. Good, because it's likely to be your last rest for a while. This is Elena. She's...
I am Queen Enora's handmaiden. She sent me here to ask for your help.
Or perhaps the young lady prefers to speak for herself.
The Queen, she is in a difficult position. She loved her husband, no? And trusted her father to protect him. When he returned with no king and only dark rumors, what is she to think? She worries, no? But when she tries to speak with him, he does not answer. He tells her not to trouble herself. My queen suspects she cannot trust her father. And Loghain, he is very subtle, no? But when and how, he is privy to all the secrets and not so subtle. So she goes to how? A visit from the queen to the new Earl of Denerim is only a matter of courtesy. And she demands answers. He calls her every sort of name, traitor being the kindest, and locks her in a guest room. King Kellen was like a son to him, and Loghain left him to die. Does he love Enora more? Who can say? I think her life is in danger. I heard House say she would be a greater ally dead than alive, especially if her death could be blamed on Earl Eamon.
We may have no choice but to trust Enora. The Queen is well loved. If Loghain succeeded in pinning her death on me, I'm not sure that's a risk we can afford to take. I fear if this is a trap, we are already caught in it. They can kill Enora whether or not we act, and blame her death on us. Few would believe our word over Loghain's. We can only defend ourselves with the Queen in hand.
I have some uniforms. I'll hire so many new guards every day. A few more will not cause much stir. I will show you to the servants' entrance. We must slip in and out with my queen before anyone is the wiser. I will go ahead to House Estate. Meet me there as soon as you can.
I haven't been here in a while. They've changed the dining room. Ask away. Yes, me too. And I got the feeling at the end there that it saw us, was aware of us, whatever you want to call it. Could have just been my imagination, I suppose. What do you think? You know how some people want to be right all the time? Me, not so much. I guess one thing is certain, at least, isn't it? It's official. This is a blight.
The servants' entrance is on the other side of the house. We must slip past this crowd to reach it. We will have to be very careful. Our How is inside. The estate is in poor repair. The new owl, he has not been very prompt in paying his workmen. I will be right behind you. I can distract the guards, but you must move quickly. Hurry! My lady does not have much time. Are you all prepared? I will go distract the guards. These two know who is allowed to come and go. They will not be fooled, but the uniform should work on most of those inside. I will lure them into the courtyard. Wait in the bushes. Oh, you must come! I saw something! By the fountain! I think it was a darkspawn!
Darkspawn?
They will drag us all underground to be eaten!
Should we call for help?
Did you fall off a cart full of stupid? Call for help? So they can see us act like scared little girls because of some knife-eared wench?
They will eat us all alive! Please, get help!
If there is something out there and we don't sound the alarm, we'll look worse than scared.
Andraste's holy knickers. Fine, we'll check the courtyard, if it'll keep you from wetting yourself. But there's nothing there.
Thank you. Oh! It was over here! Quickly! Ah, it took me forever to be rid of those two. You must be careful now. The servants, they will not look closely at anyone in uniform. All guards are alike to a cook, no? But you should not draw attention to yourself. Most of the guards are new. They will not know you for a stranger at a glance. It is best to keep your distance from all of them and try to blend in. She's in the guest room off the main hall. Andraste, guide us. The Grey Warden is here, my lady.
Thank the Maker. I would greet you properly, but I'm afraid we've had a setback. My host was not content with leaving me under heavy guard. He sealed the door by magic. Find the mage who cast the spell. He'll most likely be at Howe's side. Thank you, Warden. My prayers go with you.
Count Howe will probably be in his rooms. They're at the end of the hall, on the left.
What? Who goes there?
I thank you for creating such distraction, stranger. I have been waiting days for the opportunity. Do you think you could... Alistair? Is that you?
Who? Wait. I do know you. You were at my joining. He's one of us. A warden from Orlais. Jada, I think. Or was it Montserrat? I'm afraid I don't remember your name.
I'm Riordan, senior warden of Jada, but born and bred in Highever, and glad to be home. For the most part attempting to hold my tongue. I was sent when we received no word from King Kaelin as to the outcome at Ostagar. The king had invited all the wardens of Orlais and their support troops to join him. Then nothing. We had 200 wardens and 24 divisions of cavalry. The first we heard of Logain's edict was when everyone was turned back at the border. That was when the rumor reached us that wardens were being blamed for the massacre. We finally decided it was safest to send someone alone to learn how best to fight the Blight and this regime simultaneously. As a native Ferelden, I volunteered to make the crossing. Yes, these are my records. The names of the dead I could recognize at Ostagar. What I could find of Duncan's own recruitment records. Copies of the joining ritual I rescued from our Denerim vault. Those should never be seen by any outside eyes, but I trust in their encryption. Would that I could, for Ferelden sorely needs them. But for the joining to work, the recruit needs not only fresh Darkspawn blood, but a drop of blood preserved from an archdemon. Ferelden's supply should have been in the vault, but it was gone. I can only imagine someone took it out and Loghain either confiscated or destroyed it. As you know, the joining's chance of success is slim anyway. Loghain has done far worse to the Wardens than cut us off from recruiting. And from the rumors flying through Denerim, removing him from the throne is already your plan, no? I saw him go into the dungeons. He may still be there. With an offer of hospitality and a poisoned chalice. I was fool enough to think Loghain didn't yet know who I was. I wouldn't be much use to you in my current condition. And if you'll pardon me, I've a sudden desire to breathe some free air. I will seek you out later, after I find a good physician. And good luck, sister.
Let's end this! So I should.
Don't leave me here! Get me out of here! That's an order! Was this supposed to be a lesson? Did my father think it funny to leave me for so long before sending you? You move in august company, stranger.
I am Oswin, son of Ban Sigurd, of the Dragon's Peak Banon.
If you aren't one of our soldiers, pray tell me, who should I be thanking for my rescue?
Then I have no question about why you would come, Warden. For it is your men who have suffered the most here. You have my heartfelt gratitude. And I assume the gratitude of the entire Dragon's Peak Banon. If my father sent no one after me, I can only assume that he does not yet know the true colors of the snakes he is allied with. But if you talk to him, I'm certain he would offer you any reward you might ask. One soldier returning from Ostagar was my wet nurse's son. We have been friends since birth. He told me his unit was ordered to turn their backs on Kaelin at Ostagar, before the Darkspawn overwhelmed him. The next day he disappeared. When I went to search for him, I accepted a drink from a stranger and ended up here.
Then there is a Landsmeet after all. Hal said the Earl of Redcliffe was dead, and the Landsmeet called off. I swear, if there be any forum to speak out against Loghain, my father will be there. Now, please, I must try to get to him. I cannot see the last of this place too soon.
They said to retreat. The horn sounded, and we turned, and then the screams. We rode, and they screamed, and screamed, and... Mother, can you smell the blood? They said it was only Darkspawn. But we ate them too. They died, and we left them in the swamp. The witch. The witch!
He's obviously mad. I don't think you'll get anything more out of him.
No family, all friends, all daughters, all wives are dead. Leave. Yes, leave. Find someplace safe.
Lovely.
What month is it? Are you some enemy of our Urians? Please, I feel like I've spent half my life down here. Dead. Then who's ruling? His son, Vaughn. He struck me down and I woke up here. People were so angry, they They were thinking of petitioning the king. There have been many changes since they caught me. I need to find out what happened. I need to get home, or flee the city. I thank you for your aid, stranger. I wish I had more than gratitude to offer.
Well, well, the Grey Warden. I must say I'm surprised Eamon would condone you invading my castle and murdering my men. Is he losing faith in the persuasive powers of his Landsmeet? Logain's plan is to save Ferelden from real threats, here and now. And after certain upstarts are brought to heel, he will end the blight you go on about. Something your pathetic Order of Second Sons can't seem to get done. Ferelden needs a king who has known command. With the proper advisor at his side, of course. Please. Cailan was a symbol. The coddled idea of the royal bloodline. He wasn't a real leader. You should have left when you had the chance, Warden. Slunk off to the Anderfells to hide with the rest of your kind. This Landsmeet is a farce. Logain will triumph, and you will die.
I suppose violence is a solution. Sometimes. As you desire.
Make her spit on you. I deserved more.
As you desire.
Who's that? Stay away. You can't do this to me. I'll have you all flayed. I'm the Earl of Denerim. I'm Vaughan Kendalls, heir to the Earling of Denerim. It's true. Too many of our troops were lost at Ostagar. When the riots started, Howe came with men to reinforce the garrison here. Or that's what he claimed. As soon as I let him into the palace, he threw me in here. One more victim of the Elven uprising, he said. Let me out of here. I'll do anything. How should I know? They're prickly and take offense at anything. It's only their laziness that keeps them from being trouble most of the time. Of course. Anything. Just let me out. I swear you won't regret this.
Maker, have mercy on your faithful servant. Grant me a place at your side. Grant me the cleansing flames. Andraste, bride of the Maker, have mercy on me. Alstana, is that you, little sister? No, I don't know you, do I? Are you real? Alstana? I don't know. Where is my sister? Have you seen her? I'm Erminric, Knight Lieutenant of the Denerim Chantry. You aren't one of the Terns men?
He sounds like he's in lyrium withdrawal. He's got all the signs, confusion, weepiness. He probably doesn't even know what he's saying. If the Grand Cleric knew he were in here, she'd be spitting hot coals. Nobles don't have authority over Templars.
I failed in my duties, Maker. Forgive me. I failed, and there's no telling what he's done. Alfstana is a far better man than I would have been, but I don't remember how I came to be here. The Malefica. He had turned blood magic upon Templars and Circle Mages to escape from his tower. Near Redcliffe, I cornered him, but the Terns men took him from me and brought me here. Yes, he destroyed his phylactery. We were spread out, trying to find him. I was alone. You are real, aren't you? My dreams are so strange now. Please, If you're not a dream, help me. Give this ring to my sister, Alstana. Tell her I'm sorry. Please. Ask her to pray for me.
Someone's here.
Look, you didn't say nothing. Wait. Who are you? You're not on my watch! Call the watch! We've got an intruder!
Well, all right. Of course.
My thanks. Because there are two sorts of people in this house. Those loyal to Howe, and those loyal to me. If Howe's people find me, I'll be killed. And my people will insist on escorting me back to the palace, where my father may also have me killed.
Warden, in the name of the Regent, I am placing you under arrest for the murder of Rendon Howe and his men-at-arms. Surrender, and you may be shown mercy.
Why stop now? Calthrion is all that stands between us and freedom.
Are you sure this is what you wish?
Bring them down! Loghain wants the Warden, dead or alive.
As you desire.
Maker's breath. It's good to see you in one piece, my friend.
Sir Calthrion's death is a waste, truly. But I suppose it could not be helped. I was uncertain you would respond as you did, considering the consequences. I am glad you did. Thank you. Now, however, we must work together. And quickly. My father has gone mad. I didn't believe it at first, but he is gripped by a paranoia so severe it prevents him from seeing sense. He saw me as a threat. Yet even now, I'm certain he will be telling the nobles you are dangerous murderers that have kidnapped and mind-controlled me. He may even believe it. Perhaps. It will be more difficult for him, but if my father says the Grey Wardens are the enemy, many will believe it. He is a legend.
It's true. Our position in the Landsmeet is not strong, and this does little to help us.
At least that snake Howe is dead. That alone will not be enough, however. My father is committed to his path. You will need ammunition for the Landsmeet, and there I can help. You have only just arrived in the city, so perhaps you are unaware of some recent events. Denerim has been in turmoil since Ostagar. Many people here are angry or grieving. Strangely, the unrest is worst in the alienage. Few elves accompanied the army. They should have little reason to be upset, which means that Howe and my father must have given them reason. I don't know what is happening there, but I am certain my father has his hands in it.
A useful lead, Honora, but you could have sent this information with your maid.
That is true. I feared for my safety as Howe's prisoner. But to tell the truth, I sent Elena to you because I hoped we might join forces. You need that evidence for the Landsmeet, but you also need a stronger candidate for the throne. You need me. I have no doubt Alistair is biddable enough, and decent, but even with his blood, he is no king. You think only I can see it? Not only that, Alistair is a Grey Warden. It will look like you are trying to put a Grey Warden on the throne, despite your claims. I am a neutral party, and I am already queen.
Honora, you are indeed Kaelin's widow, but...
I am the daughter of Ferelden's greatest general. Who do you think truly ruled this nation for the last 5 years? Kaelin. I am what this country needs, not an untrained king who does not even want the throne. I can help you stop my father. Consider what I have said. For now, I think I will retire to my room. Warden, when you have a moment, I ask that you speak to me in private.
Well, she's quite spirited. I remember when Loghain first brought her to Denerim. Poor Kaelin was a good boy. But Honora was always 2 steps ahead. Had him jumping when she snapped since the first time she batted her eyelashes. I cannot help thinking she may be trouble, but we should keep her close, all the same. This is an alliance of convenience. For the moment, we are united against Loghain. Be careful how much trust you place in her. I do not for a moment think Honora means to give up her power easily. Still, I would rather have her where we can watch her than actively working for Loghain. Honora was a capable administrator for Caelan's lands, but she has not a drop of royal blood. We did not fight the Orlesians all those years just to lose our royal line in a single generation. Not when there's a surviving son of the blood.
Thanks. I'm right here, you know.
His mother was a maid, but his father was Merrick Therin, for whom we all risked our lives to win back the throne. I only wish Merrick had taken more time to instruct the lad in the politics of ruling. I did my best, but we all hoped Caelan and Honora would secure the succession. Ferelden was first united by Callanhad, the Silver Knight. For 400 years, his descendants have ruled Ferelden. That was the heritage we preserved from the Orlesians. And it is the heritage I will fight for as long as one of Callanhad's descendants still lives. Without that to unite us, we could scatter back to warring Turniers.
Are you serious? No, never mind. I don't even want to hear the rest of this. You two just keep talking about me. I'm going to stand over here with my fingers in my ears.
That would certainly solve a lot of problems, and put forth the strongest argument before the Landsmeet to remove Loghain from power. With Therin blood on the throne, and Honora's wisdom and popularity, Ferelden could present the most united front against the Blight. Unfortunately, the marriage would never happen, unless they both agreed to it. And I've seen the way Alistair looks at you. We certainly have a great deal to plan. Maker knows what that man is capable of now. Of course, if I might make a suggestion, go speak with Honora. She will either be a powerful ally or a powerful enemy, and the sooner we know which she is, the better.
I'm glad you made it safely away. I hear Howe's death has already brought no small amount of cheer to the city. We went through our joining together, more years ago than I like to remember. He was exactly the same back then, tough as stone and just as grizzled. I think he understood sooner than the rest of us how ugly a choice it is to let the few be sacrificed to protect the many. Always left himself a soft spot for his recruits, though. Only where he ever let himself down. When I'm well enough, I'm going to continue my journey toward Ostagar. Hopefully I'll be able to trace the heart of the Blight and where the Archdemon itself abides. If we want to defeat this Archdemon, we need to know where it is and how soon it might strike. If there were more of us, I would agree. But as it is, I don't think we can deprive all the armies you've gathered of a commander. Well, I'd be happy to tell you what I know, but it seems to me that you've picked the important parts up yourself. Be firm in your beliefs, protect people from their own ignorance, and be as loyal as you can to your brothers, even knowing you'll share their deaths. It's tough to say. Only the fortress in Weishaupt has every record. But there are certainly a few dozen or hundreds in every nation in Thedas. The Anderfells are home to over 1,000. It's almost like the Archdemon chose Ferelden deliberately, knowing how unguarded it is. Once only, and I'd rather not go again. It's far, lass, and very foreign. The Wardens there, they fight Darkspawn like you and me, but they're shaped by the winters there and the forest. They're a cold group and don't care like they should about the rest of the world. Their king is weak, and many Enders look to the Wardens to rule. I hate to say this, but some of them seem to want it that way. It was near 1200 years ago, and no one knows for sure, except that it began with a group of Ender soldiers. Apparently, they defected from their king's army, vowing that fighting the Blight was more important, and traveled all the way to Tevinter themselves. They were the first ones to track down the archdemon Dumat, and the ones to slay him, though none survived the battle. But they had picked up followers by then, and it was they who formally founded the Order, and were recognized by Thedas. Archdemons don't awaken on their own, you know. It takes the Darkspawn, tunneling and tunneling, searching for centuries to find one. And with no one to lead them, it must be sheer chance, or maybe instinct, which leads them. What's surprising isn't that it takes so long between Blights. What's surprising is that they succeed at all. But I imagine the old gods call to them, and it's that voice in the darkness which drives them through so many generations. The important thing to remember is, none of that matters. When you're facing Darkspawn, all you need to know is to stop them at all costs.
Whoever you are, Wait. I know you. My son described you in great detail. He tells me that I owe you his life. When I saw my poor boy's legs, I only wish House still lived that I might tear him apart myself. I would bring troops against his son. But Oswin tells me Thomas had no part in his father's depravity. Is there anything you would ask as a reward for saving Oswin? You are as modest as you are noble. Thank you again. Know that I will stand behind you at the Landsmeet with all the support I can muster. In fact, I am taking my supper today with Ban Reginalda of the White River Benorn. I'll speak with her about this at once.
Wonderful. Another one. I suppose you're here to ask for a donation too. West Hill's Arling belongs to the Darkspawn now, girl. Perhaps they're interested in giving sovereigns to the Chantry, feeding orphans, clothing idiots, or whatever it is you want. Shouldn't you be dead, then? How quick did you cut leash and run at Ostagar? No matter. I've nothing left for you to take, Grey Warden. Not even my sons. You're wasting your time here. Well, I can see how you might miss it. All of southern Ferelden covered by black clouds, the ground rotting beneath your feet, plagues and darkspawn raids going on until even the crows get sick of the smell of carrion. What's a little trifle like that when compared to the important troubles here in Denerim? There's no point talking about it. Leave me. I've nothing for you anyway.
Is that...
May I help you? This is Ermenric's. Explain yourself. My brother would no more part with this ring than with his head. Loghain? What does my brother have to do with him? A dungeon? What? No. I will go to him at once. Someone will answer for this. Take this with my thanks. It has been in my family since the War of Crowns, crafted for us by the Circle of Magi. An heirloom is a small thing compared to my brother's life.
Someone's coming.
Just stay away from me. I'm leaving, all right?
Spare a silver for a war veteran?
Oh, Andraste, bless you, sir. I won't forget your face. No, I won't.
If you're really so worried about this plague, go home. Crowding around here is what will make you sick.
I've got children at home. I can't wait out here for another day.
So go home. The best thing you can do for your children is not trust these charlatans.
Everyone remain calm. We will help as many as we can today, so long as we can do this in an orderly fashion.
Oh, you're helping us, are you, Shem? Like Valendrian and my Uncle Syrian, you helped them, didn't you? Help them never to be seen again.
We've explained this to you before, girl. More whining will not persuade us to let you into the quarantine to carry plague back out to the alienage.
Quit trying to get us all killed, Shiani. Some of us have still got things to live for.
If this spell of theirs works, why are half the people they quarantine perfectly healthy? You must not be from around here. Wait. Sora's told me about you. You're the one who freed him from the dungeons. These foreigners say they're here to help with our outbreak of plague. Funny thing, though. All the people they help disappear.
That's not true, and you know it, Shiani. Both my sisters got the Tevinter spell cast on them, and they're fine.
Where's your niece, then? And my Uncle Syrian? And Valendrian? From the Blight. That's what they say, anyway. People started getting it after the refugees showed up from Ostagar, so I guess that makes sense. These men from Tevinter say their magic will prevent people from catching it. But it doesn't work if you're already ill. So they set up a quarantine. But many of the ones they quarantine aren't sick. One of them was our Haran, Valendrian. And I don't know what we're going to do if we don't get him back. You can try. Those guards mean business.
It's you. Come in. I didn't thank you before, did I? I wish I could give you something. Everything I owned was lost to looters after the purge. Not that I had anything valuable to begin with. You'll have to excuse me if I seem a little skeptical that a total stranger would break me out of prison for no reason. It's a plague, so they say. I've seen a few sick people since I've been back, but I don't know how bad it really is. There are mages from Tevinter here helping to treat it. But there's something odd going on, though. My cousin Shiani could tell you more. You can't miss her. Just look for the angriest woman in the alienage. I guess so. I'd expect Templars here otherwise. Between the Civil War and Ostagar, the city doesn't have enough soldiers left to seal the alienage. And only elves and refugees have gotten sick. I'm sure that if anyone important gets the plague, the alienage will burn. I guess the plague's been pretty bad. I've seen a few sick people myself, but by the time I got here, it seemed to be under control. There are mages from Tevinter here helping to treat it. But there's something odd going on, though. I don't know. You can only find out for certain if it doesn't work. And no one wants to put it to a serious test. I know you've already done a lot for me, but I have to ask. Could you talk to Shiani? Please. I don't know what's going on here, but I know she's in over her head. You did? Thank you. What did she say? She said that to me as well, but it doesn't make any sense. Why would they lock people inside that house unless they had a reason? He is. I didn't realize that. No wonder she's upset. It's a miracle the alienage hasn't burned to the ground if he's gone. Thank you. Make her protect you.
Oh, it's good to see you again, friend. You were so generous to me before, and these are other veterans.
I'm an orphan.
Oh, and an orphan. Please, milady, can you spare some coin? I am insulted. A veteran campaigner, am I? And Oli is as bereft of parents as anyone's ever been.
My mom is especially dead.
No need to mention that, Oli. Will you help us? Oh, you're too kind. Just too kind.
The Maker preserve you.
Long live the good sir!
There is no need to push. We will work our spell for each person in... Hysterians, mercy! How long have you been ill, woman? You should have come here days ago.
The rest of you must stay back. Only the sick are permitted inside.
Come with us.
What's this?
We've got another one.
Wait. That's the one the Regent's looking for. One of the Grey Wardens. 5 sovereigns are the one who brings down the Warden.
As you desire.
Help us, please! We're not sick! Let us out of here! Thank you, friend. They took him away already, through the back alley. We don't know where exactly. You don't have to say that twice.
Who's there? Stay away! I can't say nothing. Please, just go. I don't want trouble. All right, I saw them take everyone. Took them right out of their beds. Dragged them down the hallways. Maker, the little one's crying. Every few days, they come back. It's like a parade, a silent one. Men and women and children. You have to go. They'll be back soon. They'll find out I talked and they'll take me too. Please, just go.
What is the meaning of this? We were told that there would be no interference from the authorities. No, you look like an elf with more curiosity than sense. You will regret this, you know. Believe it or not, we've been given dispensation to do our business here. The humans talk a great deal about how very wrong slavery is. But isn't it funny how quickly the smell of gold overcomes such ideals? So this makes us kin? Don't be a fool. I am Tevinter first and a servant of the Minrathu Circle second. Those are the things that matter.
You can't just take people from their homes and sell them. It's despicable.
But enough. I am here to halt your slaughter, nothing more. I am no fool. I can see that you are capable. So be it. I will let Caladrius deal with you while I fetch the Regent's men. I suggest you leave while you still can.
I am Caladrius, and you, I assume, must be the Grey Warden I've heard so much about. One can hardly get a word out of the Regent besides Warden these days. It's surpassed even gold in popularity. Yes, you would be curious about that, wouldn't you? I've heard that you're trying to erode Logain's support. It must be a difficult task, yes, like washing away a mountain. Perhaps you could use some help. More of an arrangement, truth be told. One that disappears the moment angry armed intruders storm my abode. Truth be told, there was always a limit to how long we were going to be able to operate here. We've paid for many of Logain's troops, but once the Landsmeet is done, we become inconvenient. So, here is my offer. 100 sovereigns from you for a letter with the seal of the Terran of Gwaren upon it, implicating him in all of this. Then, we leave a few days earlier than planned, with our profits and remaining slaves unharmed.
I feel dirty. We're not considering this, are we?
So, do we have a deal? Even you must admit it's much better than resorting to barbarism, yes? You're not. Did I say you were? I'm simply hoping the world is full of pragmatists, shall we say. It's legitimate. Whether or not it will actually help you, of that I cannot say. Some people will not believe the truth even when it is right in front of them, yes? Interesting. Oh, a comedian. Let's settle this the hard way, then. Enough! Enough! It seems your reputation is an accurate one. I surrender. Wait! Hear me out, dear lady. Were I to use the life force of the remaining slaves here, I could augment your physical health a great deal. Allow me to leave this place alive, and I would be more than happy to do this little service for you. So, is my offer of interest to you, yes? Then, I don't suppose you would consider just letting me go? That's quite generous of you, considering your position. Many thanks.
An elf with no chains? Now that's unexpected. Are you one of them? What happens to us now? Free? How strange to hear that word in here. We will not trespass long on your good graces. Come, everyone, let's go home. Ah, it's you. Welcome. Please, come in. Tell me, how is Duncan? He's been a friend of mine for many years, yes. From the look on your face, I take it the news is bad. I am sorry to hear that. I knew that the Wardens suffered great losses at Ostagar, but a few escaped. I had hoped Duncan might be one of them. He came here, now and then, to look for potential recruits. Perhaps that seems strange to you, but Duncan was a man who knew that talent could emerge in the most unlikely places. We've been through outbreaks of pestilence during the war with Orlais. We'll endure. I doubt very much now that the Tevinter intervention would have helped us anyway. Please, take this. Duncan gave it to me years ago. I suspect you'll put it to better use than I would.
Hello again, Warden. It is good that you came to speak with me. I will be blunt. I can see that your voice will be a strong one in days to come. It is to you that Eamon listens, and with good reason. My father must be stopped, but once that is done, Ferelden will need a ruler. I would welcome your support for my throne. No? You're a Grey Warden, and despite the fact that my father will paint himself as the only one who can protect the country from the Blight, it is not so. Secondly, you saved Earl Eamon from a plot that no doubt had its origins in Hal's sick little mind. People will not forget that. You are competent and powerful, and in the right place at the right time. Used to your advantage, these things could bring you far. For years, I have ruled this kingdom as Caelin's queen. As much as they loved Caelin, all of the Banon knew this to be so. Caelin was a good man, but what is needed now is not another good man, but a good ruler. I sent Alina here not solely because I thought I needed help, but because I saw an opportunity for us both. I need your support, Warden, and you will need mine. Do you disagree? You are a fellow Grey Warden. What do you think of Alistair's potential to rule? Never mind his willingness. Alistair seems like a kind, well-meaning man, and biddable enough. These are admirable qualities, if not kingly ones. He also seems to be a fine Grey Warden, which is exactly why he should remain one and serve the kingdom by defeating the Darkspawn. Oh, there are some who would follow Alistair out of respect for his Therin blood. The others would see this as Eamon grabbing for power. Who else do you think Alistair would turn to for help? Eventually, the nobility would return to the old days of constant warring with each other. Alistair's weakness would destroy everything Merrick built. I have ruled this nation on Caelin's behalf for many years. I am a great queen, and as beloved by my people as I love them. Ferelden needs an effective ruler with experience to see it through the Blight and after. That is not Alistair. Thus, I say again, I would welcome your support for the throne if you would give it. I agree that there is much to be done before the Landsmeet, but don't you think plans should still be made for what will follow? I do. That is exactly what I am proposing. When the time comes, you support my bid in the Landsmeet to remain on the throne. You will be seen as my father's enemy, yet you will be in support of his daughter. You will be seen as supporting the interests of Ferelden, as opposed to solely those of the Grey Wardens. In return, I add my voice to yours. Do you see? Together we can do what alone we cannot. He is my father, as well as a great general, who has served his nation well until now. If there is a way for him to live, I would prefer it. I will always be my father's daughter, but even I know he must pay for his crimes. It will not make me glad, even so. Does that affect your decision? Can we yet come to an arrangement? Ah, that's too bad. Maric's boys are charming, aren't they? And happiest when they have a woman to dote upon. Is that why you support him? The way you speak of him, it simply makes me curious. Well, fair enough. I'll tell you this, my father must be stopped. Once he is kept from the throne, if it should fall to Alistair, then I will be content. Ask me whatever you like. Of course it does. Do you think me heartless? But how much worse would I be to calmly stay at the side of a man who murdered my husband? It seems a strange word to describe a marriage our parents arranged when he was newly born and I still in swaddling clothes, but yes, I loved him. He was reckless, impetuous, and charming. Had he not been king, he would have made a dashing rogue for a band of players. We were a good pairing. He would not have wanted the burden of ruling any more than I would have liked to remain the silent wife in my husband's shadow. Calen was so idealistic. The world was his storybook, and he was the hero. My father is different. He's an idealist too, but he knows what idealism costs. They often clashed, but never seriously, never for long. Calen would always come round to Father's way of thinking eventually. And then the Blight came. Calen dreamed of uniting all the nations of Thedas against the Darkspawn. It was a dream. He wouldn't surrender. What my father saw, however, was the boy he had swaddled inviting Orlesian troops back into the land he had fought to free of them. And for once, my poor, foolish husband wouldn't back down. They would not believe it, most of them, even from my lips. Loghain is the hero they've looked up to their whole lives. Far easier to believe you or me a liar than him a murderer and tyrant. That's why it will be critical to find some way to discredit him before the Landsmeet. We must have proof of my father's crimes for the bands, or they will never believe us. Ask me whatever you like. Do you want me to try my luck at fortune-telling? There was an old woman who read palms in the village of Gwarren when I was a child. She told me that I would have 10 children and be bald as a winter heath when I grew up. I can't say I put much faith in foretelling. What will happen depends much on you, Warden. But you certainly knew that already. Well, he was once a farmer when he was a boy, if you can believe it. I never could myself. He's useless with plants, for one thing. I remember my mother once asking his help with a sick rose vine. My mother oversaw the rose gardens personally. He touched it. No more than that. And it shed half its leaves like a dog with mange. She never asked for him to help with her roses again. He bought her another one, though. He carried it back from Denerim with the branches overflowing his saddlebag. Despite the thorns tearing him bloody, he wouldn't let anyone else take it. He wanted to be the one to present it to her. My father has his faults, Warden, but he is far from common. Because he believes he is right, Warden. He thinks he is the only one who can see Ferelden out of its current crisis, even if it is one he helped engineer. My father is capable of remarkable blindness, but it stems from his love of Ferelden. That is the saddest part of all, I think. I hope not, but I fear it is so, yes. Trust would perhaps be putting it too strongly. My father knew what How was, and while I despised the man, I knew that father relied on his political mind. I expect my father thought himself above being influenced by the snake. Truly, I wonder how many of these acts stemmed from How and not my father at all. We may never know. I'm not sure. I had no inkling of my father's plans until Callan was already dead. I would like to think that my father planned for the worst, but did not truly decide that Callan was a lost cause until that moment in Ostagar. The alternative is difficult to imagine. Then I wish you luck, Warden.
So I'm guessing someone told Honora I was planning to steal her throne. She has a nasty glare. She wants to be queen. I get it. I don't trust her any more than her father, but I get it. I think she dislikes what I represent. I'm here to replace her dead husband, aren't I? What would you think? They say that Honora is smart, determined. She's supposedly the one who's really ruled here, not Callan. She's her father's daughter. Me? I say that's where the problem lies. People like her and her father always think they're the only ones who can fix things. So everyone should just stay out of their way. What do you think? When the Landsmeet comes, you might even have a say. You say that now. Just wait, I'm full of surprises.
My lords and ladies of the Landsmeet, Tyrn Loghain would have us give up our freedoms, our traditions, out of fear. He placed us on this path, yet we should place our destiny in his hands? Must we sacrifice everything good about our nation to save it?
A fine performance, Eamon. But no one here is taken in by it. You would attempt to put a puppet on the throne, and every soul here knows it. The better question is who will pull the strings. Ah! Here we have the puppeteer. Tell us, Warden, how will the Orlesians take our nation from us? Will they deign to send their troops, or simply issue their commands through this would-be prince? How much Ferelden blood does Orlesian gold buy these days?
There are enough refugees in Mybanor now to make that abundantly clear.
The South is fallen, Loghain. Will you let Darkspawn take the whole country for fear of Orlais?
The Blight is indeed real, Wolf. But do we need Grey Wardens to fight it? They claim that they alone can end the Blight, yet they failed spectacularly against the Darkspawn at Ostagar. And they asked to bring with them 4 legions of Chevaliers. And once we open our borders to the Chevaliers, can we really expect them to simply return from whence they came?
The Warden speaks truly. My son was taken under cover of night. The things done to him, some of them are beyond any healer's skill.
How was responsible for himself. He will answer to the Maker for any wrongs committed in this life, as must we all. But you know that. You were the one who murdered him. Whatever Howe may have done, he should have been brought before the Seneschal. There is no justice in butchering a man in his home. I assure you, Warden, if I were going to send someone, it would be my own soldiers. I would not trust to the discretion of an apostate.
Indeed, my brother tells a very different tale. He says you snatched a blood mage from the Chantry's justice. Coincidence?
Do not think the Chantry will overlook this, Tyrn Loghain. Interference in a Templar's sacred duties is an offense against the Maker.
Whatever I have done, I will answer for later. At the moment, however, I wish to know what this Warden has done with my daughter. You took my daughter, our queen, by force, killing her guards in the process. What arts have you employed to keep her? Does she even still live?
I believe I can speak for myself. Lords and ladies of Ferelden, hear me. This warden has slandered and defamed Ferelden's greatest hero in a bid to put an impostor on Merrick's throne.
Oh, when she turned on us. What a shock. She seemed like such a nice despot.
How cutthroat! Mother would adore her.
It has become clear to me, Warden, that the true threat to this nation is you. I offered you the chance to ally with me for the good of this nation, and you refused it. I will not allow you to destroy the throne Cailan and I have held.
Who here can say that Anora is not fit to rule this land? And who can say that this Alistair is? We know nothing of him, save that he may have royal blood. For 5 years, Anora has been queen, and proven herself worthy of the Theron name. She can lead our people through this crisis, and I can lead her armies. My lords and ladies, our land has been threatened before. It's been invaded and lost and won times beyond counting. We Fereldans have proven that we will never truly be conquered so long as we are united. We must not let ourselves be divided now. Stand with me, and we shall defeat even the Blight itself!
The Warden. I'm with the Warden. Southreach stands with the Grey Wardens.
The Warden helped me personally in a family matter.
Waking Sea stands with the Grey Warden.
Dragon's Peak supports the Warden!
The Western Hills throw their lot in with the Wardens. Make her help us.
I stand by Loghain. We've no hope of victory otherwise.
I stand with the Warden. The Blight is coming. We need the Grey Wardens.
Traitors! Which of you stood against the Orlesian Emperor when his troops flattened your fields and raped your wives? You fought with us once, Eamon. You cared about this land once. Before you got too old and fat and content to even see what you risk. None of you deserve a say in what happens here. None of you have spilled blood for this land the way I have. How dare you judge me? Then, let us end this. I suppose we both knew it would come to this. A man is made by the quality of his enemies. Marek told me that once. I wonder if it's more a compliment to you or me. Enough! Let the Landsmeet declare the terms of the duel.
It shall be fought according to tradition. A test of arms, in single combat until one party yields. And we, who are assembled, will abide by the outcome.
Will you face me yourself, or have you a champion? Then let us test the mettle of our would-be king. Prepare yourself.
How wonderful!
On it.
Let's have at it! Wonderful! How wonderful!
So, there is some of Marek in you after all. Good.
Forget Marek. This is for Duncan.
So it is decided. Alistair will take his father's throne.
I accept this decision. I will be king, if the Landsmeet will have me.
Honora, the Landsmeet has decided against you. You must now swear fealty to our king, and relinquish all claim to the throne for yourself and your heirs.
If you think I will swear that oath, Eamon, you know nothing of me. Reason clearly had nothing to do with your choice, Warden.
We cannot leave Ferelden in a state of civil war. We must have unity. If she will not swear fealty to you, Alistair, and renounce her claim to the throne, she is a threat to us all.
Put her in the tower for now. If I fall against the Blight, then she can have her throne. If not, then we'll see.
You would give me a chance for the throne after all this?
I said if I fall, Honora. If I fall, the throne falls to you. I won't kill you while there's a chance that could happen. Somebody has to treat this Blight seriously.
That is uncharacteristically wise of you.
Yes, well, don't let it get around. I have a reputation.
Very well then. Guards, take her away.
We need to talk. I'm not going to question why you made me king. I even think I'm starting to come around on the idea anyhow. It could be an interesting future for me. But being king, that raises some questions about us. About you and me. I am. But this is all I can think about since the Landsmeet. First, there's the fact that both you and I are Grey Wardens. It's not just a question of obligation, but of blood. You know that Grey Wardens don't usually live to become old, right? As king, I'll be required to have a child. Even more so because my death is assured. That's assuming that someone with the taint can or even should have a child. Not with each other. Even one parent having tainted blood means having children is not recommended. All the Grey Wardens I knew with children had them before they joined the Order. I will need to find a wife. One who can bear a child, who will live to raise it. I don't relish it, but I will have a duty as the king. I love you. More than I ever thought possible. But I have to face what this means. I can't run away from it anymore. You mean, marry who I want? Carry on with whomever I want? You don't think that would be very unfair? To my wife as well as you? You're right. Of course you're right. Damn them all anyhow. If they want to make me king, then I'll be king. And I'll do exactly what I want to do. I feel like such an idiot for bringing this up now. Can you ever forgive me? Oh, that sounds rather saucy. We'll have to discuss my punishment later on, I see. Earl Eamon has left for Redcliffe. He says the army has gathered there and is almost ready to march. As soon as we're ready, we should head to Redcliffe ourselves. The Blight awaits, right?